College is supposed to be the time of your life. It's a chance to meet other people, explore career possibilities, and expand your world. But for me, college was anything but the time of my life. I have been dealing with major depression since I was about 12 or 13, and I hadn't told anybody about it because I was concerned about what they would think or how they might react. So I kept it hidden to myself. No matter how many times I heard statistics on how many people were dealing with mental health issues, I somehow felt like I was the only one. And that made it really difficult to come forward for help.
The people who have mental illness feel that they are inferior to everybody else. It's really very difficult for them to say to other people, listen, I'm suffering, because they don't understand it. So therefore they stay silent.
The stigmas have a particular weight on young people as they are discovering their identities, discovering who they might be, who they might become, what they might do with their lives. And so that an issue around mental illness becomes particularly pressing at that moment, this particular stage in a student's life.
Coming to a huge campus, Rutgers has 35,000 students. I just felt so different, and you just don't realize how many people are in the same boat.
Rutgers University is like a lot of other schools throughout the United States, where I think that we are seeing an increased prevalence of mental health issues on campus. And those mental health issues may range from just rather simple students who may have some down days, some depression, that they need some help talking about some issues with stress, all the way to a lot more people who are coming to campus already on medications.
The students who have mental illness, on the top of other stressors, which the students who don't have mental illness are facing much more difficulties. Sometimes they may have a flare-up of their mental illness and they may not be able to go to the classes.
It continued to get worse and worse until the point where I had to drop out of college. I thought, that's it. I have no life ahead of me. I'm never going to get better and never be able to return to college. I felt like I didn't have a future. After trying lots of different types of treatments, we finally found the right treatment for me, and I was able to return to college. I decided, hey, I really want to do something for other people who are dealing with mental illness. So I decided to start NAMI-Rutgers, which is a student-run organization, and a campus chapter of NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
NAMI-Rutgers is not only to increase awareness about mental health, but also try and break down the stigma that surrounds it, as well as working together with faculty of the university and students, and giving students a voice about what they like to see, what improvements they like to make.
One of the things that's important is that administrators learn directly from students what are the priorities that they feel we should focus on, what are the ways that they hope we will use our resources to best advantage. I think that NAMI plays a very important role in giving us that kind of crucial feedback.
They really see and understand the issues of mental illness with students, and they're advocating for their fellow students.
Peer-to-peer advocacy, you take it more to heart and you're like, wow, these are people my age that realize something's going on and something needs to be done.
Well, it was exciting to me to see that students could expand the community's awareness and extend their understanding of how people with mental conditions are affected by their symptoms.
You don't have to have a mental illness to be involved in NAMI-Rutgers. Everybody can learn and get involved in it.
I do plan on going to medical school for psychiatry, so I felt this was a great way to get exposure and learn about mental illness.
There was not many opportunities to learn about psychology outside of the classroom, so I wanted to actually be able to learn more and get personally involved.
I really always enjoyed community service, and I felt that as a psychology major and wanting to work in this kind of field, it would be the perfect fit for me.
We organize a broad range of activities.
If there's an event and there's free food, chances are someone's going to show up. And many times it's people who had no idea about many of the things that are presented.
Anytime you give students that kind of space to talk about the issues or even think about it in a different way, you're making a difference. Even if it was a student who just came through and said, I never thought about that.
I was at a NAMI event and I saw a friend from a class and he said, well, I actually just was right outside the door and I just noticed everyone kind of hanging out. And then when I realized what it was for, I was really impressed that it was just like any other event, but for such a good cause, and I just came in to be supportive.
Last year with Mardi Gras Madness, this girl came up to me and she was saying how it was really great for her to see all these people coming out to support people with mental illness and learning about it and having fun at the same time. And she said that it made her feel like more normal.
One of the students said that they didn't know how to go for the mental health. The student was depressed. The organization helped them to come to mental health, and from here they went into the counseling centers, and that student is completing the semester without dropping a class.
You really get to see how you affect people.
NAMI-Rutgers has just had a positive effect on my college experience, and just going out there and trying to get involved was the best thing I could have done.
The students and staff at Rutgers have been incredibly encouraging and supportive of our efforts on campus.
Now I can see that a lot of people are reaching out to us to collaborate or just telling us, like, I think this is a great idea, or I really appreciate you starting up this organization.
I have never seen any organization ever grow this fast.
The combination of all of this has served to support the students in their endeavors to mature from a beginning group that has no previous experience on the Rutgers campus to one that's been recognized through their hard work for numerous and diverse accomplishments, activities.
They're not afraid to take on big projects, and that's really refreshing.
There's a lot to be learned from our organization. There's so many people who have incredible stories and who are in recovery now.
It's making students realize that there is help out there. There's different ways to deal with it.
People are getting the message that, hey, there's people. First there's people that have mental illness on campus, and then it's okay.
It's raising the profile of students with mental illness.
Students are the only one who can make the difference because they know their peers, they know their colleagues, they do understand what the college pressure is.
Maybe 20, 30 years ago, it was definitely considered taboo and nobody would talk about it, but I think in our day and age, there should be a lot more recognition and openness about it because there's so many resources to help people with these issues and there's no reason to hide things anymore.
Students with mental illness can be incredibly resilient and successful in higher education. And given the right environment and the right support, they don't just survive, they can thrive.
For more information about our organization, visit nami.rutgers.edu or email us at nami